Draw your knees to your chest. Let your shoulders relax. Tune into your breath. Slowly let your hands slide to the front of the knees and begin to circle the knees wide away together and in. And switch directions. Pull your right leg into your chest, send your left leg up to the sky. Start to flex and point. Hold your flex, squeeze the muscles tightly to the bone and circle the leg. With the foot facing the ceiling. Go the other way. Center the leg and send it to the earth. Let it get dense as it sinks into the ground. Pull your right knee in close to your torso and circle that. Go the other way. Open the knee up to the right as you smooth down your torso with your left hand and your left thigh. And draw the right knee into the chest, squeeze it. Extend your right arm out to the side and twist. Smooth down your right hip. Noticing if the hip itself is hiked up toward the waist. So kind of feel around for some bony landmarks. And chances are good that it has hiked up. So even past, like even more than you think. So overdo it almost by rolling that hip down. Point your toes on your left foot and reach to the head as though you're a big pogo stick, sending the toes away and the head in the opposite direction. And then turn your head to the right. Push down into the ground with the right hand and see if that right knee will go any more to the left without hiking up that hip. So this stretch gets kind of intense, yeah? Somewhere in your mid-back, lower back area, lower back. Maybe to the side of the back, maybe in the outer hip. Breathe into it. And let's exaggerate that breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then see if you can go any further. Let that knee go even closer to the floor. If it's not there, mine's nowhere near there. More to the left side of the room. Breathe in. Keeping that right arm pushing down. Exhale. Oy, oy, oy. It's deep. And then reach through that right arm and roll onto your back. Hug it in, hug it in. Give it a good squeeze, letting the lower back release. Plant your feet flat on the earth. Interlace your fingers. You can steeple the index or not. Just notice which index are on top and left or right. And then start these pullovers, taking the hands up to the sky and then all the way back behind you, trying to keep your elbows straight. Bringing as much of your arm down to the floor or earth behind you as you can. And just for reference, my arms are not hitting the ground. My thumbs are, but that's it. But I'm trying to get the arm down. And maybe you are. Now I'm also noticing that my back ribs are sliding toward my butt. I want to just manipulate them a little bit away from the butt as I go, so I don't end up in a big back bend or really any over exaggeration of a back bend. We'll do 4, push down into the ground with your big toes, 3, 2, and switch the lacing of the fingers for 10, more, 9, 8, try to straighten those elbows a little more if you can, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm seeing really bent elbows. I wonder if mine look bent too. Try to pull them straighter if you can. And 1, and then release your arms. Take them out into a T, straight out of the shoulder. Goal post your arms so the elbows stay on the floor, the fists are over the elbows, and the thumb is facing away, the knuckles toward your face, or straight back, and the thumbs are forward. And then just push down into the earth with your elbows. So push down, and you're not really trying to arch your back as much as slide the shoulder blades. So they slide toward and away. And even that you're not trying to overdo. The action you're focused on is the elbows into the floor, resulting in the sliding doors of your shoulder blades. And my left one, creaky. My right one is like smooth and slidey. My left one needs more attention. 5 more, 3, 2, and 1. And then draw, what am I saying? Send your right leg up to the sky and start to flex and point your right foot. Hold a nice strong flex, squeeze the muscles in your thigh to the bones, front, back, sides, and circle that leg. You could have the left knee at the chest or the left foot flat. And circle the right leg the other way, the foot straight up to the sky, even exaggerating the extension of the heel. Center the leg and slowly descend it to the earth. Let it get dense, heavy. Pull that left knee in close to your torso and circle. Getting that colon massage here. And go the other way. You might want to just engage the belly a little bit, pulling the navel to the floor, not a lot. Not trying to create anything too tight. Really staying relaxed. Hold the front of the left shin, pull that knee toward the left armpit, smooth down your body with that right hand. Yay, Taylor popping in from Mexico. Nice. Love that everyone's everywhere. And then bring your left knee into the middle, shifting your hips to the left a little. Stretch your left arm out and twist. Let's unhike that left hip right away. So manually grab something there and pull it down away from the waist. And again, you might not even be aware of it. If you've ever been in a class where teachers grabbed you here, you know, it's like, whoa, I had no idea. And then push down through that left elbow, left forearm, turn your head to the left. Keep that rooted, really use the floor to help you here. Glue the arm down and push it down, and then start to let that left knee move more to the right wall, right? So it's kind of moving into discomfort. Point your right toes, reach to the crown of the head, get that beautiful pogo stick line, and then let that left knee start to creep toward that right wall more until you start to really feel sensation. stop where it's like a 6, 7, and breathe there. Keep pushing down into the floor with that left hand, left arm. Maybe the knee can edge a little more toward that right wall. Oh, there's gonna be a point where it's really fun intensity. Stay there, breathe. Ooh. And then reach to that left arm, roll back onto your back, hug your knees in, squeeze them in. Plant the feet on the floor. Take your fist to your head with your thumbs facing down. So fist to your temples, with the thumbs facing down, knuckles facing, I guess, back. And then elbows all the way to the floor. So get in that position. If your toes are curled up, just lengthen your toes out and then plug them down into the ground. So there's a little arch in the lower back. Elbows all the way together if you can, and then elbows all the way down to the floor. Again, we're observing the sliding door effect of the shoulder blades, but not forcing it. The elbows don't come down, they don't. And here, again, you're going to be able to notice, wow, one side might be working really well and the other might be a little different. Let's do 15 more, 14. And go at your own pace where you can get those elbows down and together. And 5, and 4, 3, 2, and give them a nice good squeeze at the top. Then let them go wide and interlace your hands behind your head. Pick up your feet and you may choose, in fact, I'm going to say, if you have a block or a pillow, go ahead and grab that. Put it between the knees at the medium width. Hands interlaced behind the head. Head's going to stay on the floor for now. Elbows pushing back into the floor. Knees directly over hips. Now put a big old squeeze on that pillow or block. So really concentrate on that adduction. And little pulses here. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold that squeeze. That's the pressure you want. Flex your feet and bring your heels to the floor, to the earth, and then back up to table. Down to the earth, and you can exhale as you come up. We'll do 10 like this. And it's so easy for me to forget about the squeeze, which is really the focus. So keep that adduction, squeeze that pillow or block. 6, 5, if you don't have anything like that, that's fine. You can just use your mind. And 4, and 3, the heels touch down each time. And 1, hold here, pulse if you have something, and pulse if you don't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax just a moment, just dangle here, twist. And do the twist, heels go left and right. Let the hips shimmy a little, or kind of, here they are cranking up toward the waist a bit. And then center, squeeze in. Same thing, heels come down, and then back up to table. This time we're gonna add the head. Try not to go toward the knees at all. Try to just go straight up. Now you can always dial it back and leave the head and elbows on the floor, or add this layer for 10. Exhaling as you come up. 9. And you may go to imprint spine when the heels come up. 8, 7. Don't forget to squeeze if you have a block or pillow. 6, and 5. I'm sorry about my count being messy. 4 and 3 and 2. Lift it, hold it, lift it. Keep those elbows wide. Take the knees toward the right shoulder, center, left shoulder, center. Keep going, squeezing your prop. 5 more each side. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and a 1. Squeeze it left. And that was fun. Okay, come on down. Pause, breathe. Take that block if you have it, put it between your feet, the wide way, so it's wide, horizontal, between the balls of the feet and arches, and squeeze in. Now we're just going to squeeze the glutes without the pelvic tilt. So we've been working on this for a few weeks. So just so for those of you who haven't been here for this, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes. That's what we normally do, and often they're coupled together. We don't want to do that. We want to let the lower back stay arched. We want to not tuck the tailbone. So keep it in this anterior tilt and just squeeze the glutes. To me, it feels sort of like wrapping. 10, 9, 8, it feels sort of circular. 6, 5, 4, it also feels jiggly. 2, and 1. Yeah, and then just shake out your legs, give them a little kick. I have mine up to this guy, I'm just shaking them. And let's do 10 more of these glute squeezes. So put the block between your feet again, anchor your feet, and squeeze the glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the squeeze on the glutes. Now we're just still not tucking the tailbone. Push down through the floor with your feet and see if you can lift your hips up without that tail tuck. It's gonna be a little weird. Hold here. Now can you keep the height and squeeze the glutes? I'm still lower than my knees, so I don't want to come up into any pain. Just making it a little more challenging. 10, 9, I'm gonna give a little squeeze on that block. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Can you raise them up a little more without that over tuck? Still keeping a natural back. Maybe you're coming all the way up toward the shoulders and yet not trying to work that tailbone. Squeeze the block. And can you squeeze your glutes here without tucking the tail? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to let them relax in between each one. 4, relax. 3, relax. 2, relax. Squeeze and bring her down. I hope that was fun for you. It was really fun for me. Arch your lower back a lot and then push your lower back down. My feet are still kissing this block as I open my knees wide. Now the soles of the feet are coming onto it, and I'm going to let my knees bounce a bit here. Now you may be doing it kind of controlling the bounce, or you may notice sort of an involuntary up and down thing start to happen. And this is more of a release. But either way is really good. So whether or not you're forcing it or not forcing it, but just instructing your legs to do it, or they're just doing it, both are great. And let's just give it a good bounce here. For 5, 4, 3. Good, good. 2 and 1. Let the knees fall open. Even more, maybe adjust the feet a bit. My hands are on my belly, and I'm gonna just take a few deep breaths here into the belly, letting it be soft, letting it inflate on the inhale, and deflate all the way down on the exhales, being really patient as the breath empties. Notice if there's tension in your belly. There's quite a bit in mine. And I'm beginning to feel my whole system relax, even just simply by observing this. I'm like, oh. And then very slowly, we're gonna manually take the left hand to the left leg, roll it over to the right side, lift it to the right side, roll your body over to the right side. Pause in a fetal position here. Breathe into your lower back, mid back, wherever you need it. And then push on up to your hands and knees. Okay, I'm gonna show this from the side. So the knees are not super far back, like I'm doing a supported push-up somewhere, and they're not under my hips. They're somewhere, split the difference between like a supported push-up position and directly under your hips. And then walk your hands a little bit forward of the shoulders, barely, but enough that you're like, okay, this is now more of a bridge than a quadruped. I'm gonna then bring my shoulders to the wrist, so a little bit forward. And then I'm gonna exaggerate the lift of my tailbone and sink my entire trunk. So my whole chest, whole torso, tummy, and then I'm gonna drop my head. Breathe here, keeping the arms as straight as you can and try not to lean into one or the other. And I'm holding in about 7 places that I can identify right off the bat that make this challenging. And the interesting thing is, as you let go, it gets easier, but my body at least doesn't know that. So you're suspended between your hips and shoulders, and you can let go. In my case, my middle back and my tummy are both like, no, we cannot let go. And as it starts to give, just take it in. Just try to notice. Please keep breathing. Let the feet trail behind the ankles. And try to hold for about 10 more seconds. When you let the belly soften, can the mind let go? Good. And then let your hips ease back. Arms go way forward. Just let them reach. Soften the hips all the way toward the feet, unless your knees say no. And then please modify. Keep extending with the hand. Let the trunk fall here. Fall onto the legs. Fall toward the floor. So there's quite a stretch in the shoulders, perhaps, as those armpits also soften down. Not the shoulder, but the armpit. I don't know if that makes sense, but. Now squeeze just the tummy up as you contract your way up to a seated position. And you don't need a block for this. I'm just gonna show this with one. And Karen, you might need to like pad the heck out of the earth there with the ground if it hurts your knees. Okay, so I'm gonna show this from the side. Hopefully you can see me a little bit. So I'm eventually gonna have my hands up by my, interlaced behind my head. So first I'm gonna show you what we're not doing. You see my feet are trailed behind the ankles, that's what we want. I have a block between my legs, the narrow way. So let me show you what we're not doing. So I'm gonna reach back with my hips, and do you see how my torso went forward and then back? That's what we're not doing. What we are doing is going straight back, straight down without that lean, and then back up. So I'm not doing that. I'm going back, straight, down, straight, up, and forward. This may not feel good in your knees. You may only be able to go to here and here. That's cool. So hands around the head, straight back, down, squeeze and go up. Let me watch. Good, Joelle. Dang. Is that even hard? You make it look like nothing. Good. Elena, can you try it with the hands behind the head, or is it too scary? Good. Good, Karen. Yes. All right, Karen's taking it to another level with some sort of, maybe don't go that far back. Good, Taylor. Yeah, perfect. Sharon, let me see. I got it straight on view of you, so it's harder to see. Oh yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. All of you, excellent. Good, Elena, that's amazing. That doesn't hurt? It does hurt, but not the knee, okay. All right, let's all do 3 more. Karen, see if you can, instead of doing that, pull the, so I like what you're doing it kind of dancer, you're kind of going back like that, but you're back bending. So I want you to take it straight and down. You're kind of in the back bend almost. So it's a little straighter. It could be the angle, I could be wrong. That's it, that was it. Slow it down just a little bit. Heck yeah. You guys crush that. Good. You feel it in your quads? Yeah, okay, good. And then we'll stretch it out. Take the block out and stretch back. I have my toes tucked behind me and I'm stretching out the calf. And switch sides. And let's take it to a down dog. While we're here, and pedal it out. Get that nice deep calf stretch. Come back down onto the knees. Stretch your left leg out to the side, and we're going to do a hip circle here, guided by the knee. So I'm doing like a hip circle, a knee circle. My hands are on the ground, and I'm getting, it's a really cool way to get into the nooks and crannies of the adductors. And I suppose abductors. And then we'll do the other one. Right leg out and spider your knee. Yummy. Excellent. And then take it back to that down dog. Lift the right leg up. Squeeze your hamstrings as you curl your heel to your glute. Tone that butt. You'll feel it now, I think. And then open up that hip and do knee circles here, or hip circles, bringing the knee in a circle. And if it's too hard, go down into that quadruped position with that left knee down and do it on all fours. Switching directions of your circle. And then we'll bring that right heel down, left leg up, hamstring curl, open the hip, and circle a few in one direction and a few in the other. Trying your best to stay stable in your hands and in your standing leg. The working leg is the only thing moving. Good. And then step forward when you feel evened up there. Toe heel the feet together. Inhale, kind of like a purr. Purr your heart forward. Send your sits bones back. And I'm wondering if everything's a little bit beautiful. Like if your shoulder blades are just sliding now, gliding on your back. And then fold, melt down, drop the head. And again, are you noticing a bit more connection here as the belly is able, perhaps like mine is softer now that it let go of that tension a bit, and it's able, because of that, to contract more deeply, and my forehead goes more easily to my shins. Push down, rise up, circle, up and back. Here's a place for a nice back bend. And then hands come to the heart. Release the hands down, inhale, up, exhale, and forward fold. Inhale, looking up to the sun, step left and right foot back, chaturanga. Upward facing, with a nice smile to the day, feeling its soft palate. Exhale back, downward facing, even the hands and feet. Straight arms, sits bones lifting. And unlike that bridge before where we were melting, here we want to use some power. Pulling up the pelvic floor, belly up, throat slightly tucked, chin slightly tucked, throat slightly engaged. Ujjayi breath. Sending the breath higher into the body. Ribs are drawn in. Raising the heels on the next inhale, bending the knees as you exhale to travel forward. Launch yourself or step. Heart purrs forward, it rolls forward. Exhale, melt down over the legs. Let go completely. Head and neck. Rise, push down into a beautiful back bend. And hands to your heart. Release the hands down. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, look up. Step right and left foot back, chaturanga. Upward facing, really turn the face up to the sun. Downward facing. Find your alignment and breathe. Good morning. Beautiful. Your shoulders all look really nice. I can see a difference from that warm up. Lifting your butt even higher if there's room, but without the heels. Keep those heels down. Find that distance between the shoulders and the hips, de-aging the spine. Inhale, raise your heels, bend the knees, walk or jump, forward. Releasing that exhale, heart forward, inhale, flush it out as you exhale. Tummy draws to the spine. Beautiful women. Inhale, arch up and back. Rainbow the body. Gorgeous. Pull the hands into the heart. Well done. One more. Circle the arms up. Inhale. Big breath in. Exhale. Fold forward. That detox. Inhale, lift the heart. Jumping back if you're feeling snappy, or step left and right foot back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Big smile. Collarbones part of it. Gorgeous. Take it back. Down dog. Lower the knees to the mat softly, pad them as needed. I'm going to show this from the side again. So you stay forward on a hatha, so puppy pose, knees are on the ground. Walk your arms forward, drop your chest to the floor. Very, very, very flexible in the shoulders and upper back. Maybe your chin comes to the floor. Most people, it's safer to have the forehead on the floor. Feet trailing behind the ankles. Hugging in as if there were a block, but there isn't one here. But we are a bit in that suspension bridge like earlier, but it's more intense perhaps. See if you can, or in some ways more, some ways less. Oh, very nice, very, very nice. Elena, is there a possibility for more forward of the torso? Just right there. Yes. And Sharon, I think you're good, but maybe a little more forward. I don't want you to stress out that shoulder.
So ignore me if I'm pushing you. Joelle, will the arms go straight? Are they straight? Oh, they are straight, sorry. Beautiful. All right, now to come out of it, it's a bit, you want to push down through your hands with a lot of confidence and take a huge, huge tap. And walk your knees toward your hands a bit. Tummy in and in. Crawl up onto those knees. Interlace the hands behind you. Now, this might be a big ask, but can we replicate that? Can we not tuck the tailbone here? Can we squeeze the glutes without tailbone tucking? I don't know. Hard. But can you at least think about it? What are you gonna do? Maybe you do it easily. For me, they're very paired. So I'm gonna try and then not tuck my tailbone, try to lift the chest up and not go to camel, but thinking about it. Squeezing the glutes, rolling the chest toward the sky, and just seeing what happens. Not going too far. Keeping that glute squeezage and just opening the chest. Yeah, it feels good. And then, oh, those are very nice. And then come down, relax for a sec, shake out your hands. Shake out your shoulders. Shimmy, shimmy. Okay, hands at the hips. Right arm out to the side, left arm, we'll take the left arm out too. No, okay, let's put the hands back at the hips and just bend the torso to the right. Like the head and torso. Now, can you do this without tipping the hips? So I want your hips to stay forward neutrally, so both of them, and then take the torso head toward the right. You may feel something on your left side. Then open the arms in a diagonal, add the arms, don't bring that left arm overhead, keep it in line with the right arm, so you're like a windmill, and try to keep the hips level, and then come up. Let's try the other side. Okay, so this side I instantly cheated. My right hip did something funky. So I'm gonna try to keep my hips level, and I'm actually gonna do this from kneeling because I don't trust myself in this side. My hips level, my right hip wants to twist forward. I'm gonna try to keep it back. Torso to the side, head to the side, adding the arms. And Elena, keep the arms in a diagonal, so not overhead. Now, can you, you may not have a wall. It turns out it's actually hard to find a wall to do this on, but some kind of, at least go to a wall to get a sense of my heels are at the wall, my shoulders are at the wall, my head is at the wall. I want my feet a little wider than my hips. And here, with the wall, at least at your bum, you can feel the hips start to cheat. So keep both hips, both booties, both sides of your butt against the wall, shoulders even, and then windmill, take the trunk to the right without changing the hips at all. Head is on the wall, and see if you can find a stretch there, and be really intense about your hips not moving. Elena, take your feet wider. Karen, take your feet a tiny bit narrower. Elena, wider. There. And can you bring your right arm in line with the left arm on a diagonal? There, good. And your left hip went up a little bit. Can you keep your left hip on that wall and down? There. And come up and do the other side. Karen, you shifted into the left hip a little bit. I know, it's so hard. You're shifting into that left hip a lot. So unlike triangle, which we're habituated, the hips are staying level. Elena, your left hip went way up. So interesting, even though you're doing the other side, your hips did the same thing. So left hip is up, try to lift your right, And arms are on a diagonal. So they're both pushing into the wall. So your right arm up, left arm down. So like this. and tip to your right, like you're a windmill. That's it. Karen, try to push to that left foot so you can lift that right hip a little bit. Good. I wish I could see everybody, but I can't. But I think, and Elena, your left hip is creeping up. Pelvic floor. Good. And come on back. Did you guys feel a stretch with that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Upsies. Okay, good. All right. Good. Down dog. Down dog. And raise your right leg high. Hamstring curl. Heel to the butt. Open up that hip. Step the right foot up. I should have said this. Grab your block. Let's go right to a half moon. Kick back with that left leg. Now, bend that right knee. Externally rotate the left thigh. And it's harder to talk about here, but what would the hips be like if we didn't sink into that right hip? If we were to keep the hips more level somehow, neutral, and then raise that left arm. And turn the chest open. And then, with that gorgeous alignment, that left leg might lift higher. And maybe your right hand can lift off the floor and cup the chin or stay just off the floor, hovering, open. Aha. And let's bend that right leg and take it way back. Warrior two. Place the hands on the hips and level them. So same principle. Same height. Hips are, right hip is as high as the left. Do what you need to keep that. So recruit your pelvic floor, the glutes without over tucking the tail, hamstrings. Then open the chest up, and arms can function independently. That right rib cage, right arm moves forward, flip the right palm, take it back, but do try to keep your hips level. Use that information from the windmill. Look up if you can. And really drink this in. Clean out the lung here. Let's get the lymph moving here. Let's keep that breast tissue functioning. We want to get a lot of innervation into that tissue, into the lungs, all that whole upper chest, so important. So, so important. And then push, pedal through that right foot so the leg goes straight. Now here we are taking the hips into an uneven position. That left hip goes back, that right hip dips, the right hand comes down, left arm lifts. Without thrusting the pelvis, can we engage the glutes? And turn from that point that we know is tight from our twist, from our spinal twist earlier. Engage the adductors, those inner groins, open. Feel that? Feel it's just really beautiful triangle here. Sharon, open to the beauty of it. Open to just breathing in life force. There it is. Beautiful, everybody, beautiful. So pretty. Kind of in awe. Okay, let's push down through the back foot, pivot, facing the left side of your space and stand tall. Interlace your fingers behind your bum and lift the chest. Keep going back. And then nice slow forward fold. See if you can enjoy that deep, deep cow stretch, that thing that like suspension bridge on your way down. And then take the arms overhead. If you want to switch to your strap, that's fine too. Hips come forward daringly. Do not fall. Level hips here. Equal engagement through both legs. All the toes fanned out on the ground. A lot of stress held in these body parts. Plug into the ground.
long flat back as you come up, or more of extension. We can do a little bit of a body roll here. Little bit of chest, butt, stop moving it around, good. And then we'll cartwheel the hands toward the front of the mat, step back, move through these beautiful shapes to down dog. Shake out the head, shake out the story. Just getting to the raw existence of it, the breath, the flow. Good job, you guys. Beautiful. Left leg up, hamstring curl. That leg, let it open. Look forward, step to half moon. Block's gonna come under that left hand. Right hand to the hip. Bend the left knee. Make sure that left knee tracks forward over the ankle, in line with the hip. Then turn your right inner thigh open. And maybe raise that right arm. And can we find neutral hips here? I don't know. Can we try? What would it be like? Lifting that left hip rather than falling into it. And when you're there, you'll be like, oh, the flexibility will just show up. So when stability is present, flexibility can happen from strength. Then maybe that right leg goes up, maybe not. Maybe that left hand floats up. Shine here. Nice new moon. Beautiful. And then bend that left knee, step it back for warrior two. Hands at the hips, level them. And do what you need to do to keep them level. Which muscles, which systems need to pay attention? Extend the arms when you're ready, stay tall. Just feel sturdy, landed, grounded in your presence. Connecting with the earth, connecting with the sky, connecting with your own inner power and drive. Reach the left lung, left hand forward, and then it cascades back in this beautiful goddess shape. Breathing up into your arm, breathing into your lung, into your lymph, into your heart, into the tissue of the breast. There's really good spleen points here, in case you like to eat sugar. This is a really important point. But we want to keep this area, this whole highway of lymph very clean. Breathe. And then make your way to triangle, pushing into the ball of your left foot, straightening that left leg. Now we do allow the hips to change here. They go, the right hip kicks back. We drive that left thigh deeper into the socket. And that left hand comes down, right arm on top. Can you squeeze your glutes without that pelvic thrust? Right? It's just that gentle wrapping, and then kind of not quite a Kegel, but like that bandha, that mula bandha, that sweet. I mean, you can do a Kegel, but it's gentler. Maybe not. We'll just say Kegel. And make it beautiful. Extend from tailbone to shining skull and out from finger to finger. So pretty. Beautiful. Come up, push down through the back foot, pivot to the right side of the mat. Hands at your hips, come up. Arms out so that like a star, so arms go wide, look up. Big starfish. And now can we keep the hips level, lean to the left, get that stretch here without dumping one hip, without rotating them. Push down, come up, and the other side. So can you do that windmill thing without the wall? Oh, so good. Inhale back up, star. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Now you're gonna put your weight on your right foot, lift that left leg out to the side so it's like a falling star to the right. Just holding that shape with the left leg out to the side and up.
Squeeze your inner thighs to come back up. Land that left foot and over to the other side. Pick that right foot up. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. You pick up that foot. Take it out. Good. Good. Nice. Beautiful squeeze to come on up and land both feet. Toe heel your feet in a little bit narrower for a squat malasana. You can keep facing sideways, but I'm just going to turn to the front so you can see me. I'm going to bring my hands down. Please be careful with this. If you want, you can bring your left knee down and back up, right knee down and back up. So there's some internal rotation here. Internal, I suppose, and external at the same time. So one knee comes down, the other goes into external rotation. I'm just playing with this. And you know what? I'm trying to use my tummy muscles, trying to lift the leg. It's working, I think it's working. And then back to a malasana squat. Please be mindful of your joints. Option to crow, hands forward, knees high on the upper arms. Be careful of your surroundings, of course, and maybe the feet fly up to the bum and you hover. Well done. Bring yourself down very carefully to the ground. Wheelbarrow your legs. So your legs are forward in front of you. Your hands are behind you. My fingers are facing my heels. I'm going to lift my bum and I'm going to crawl back. And I'm doing the work, I'm thinking shoulders, so not butt. The butt is just the wheelbarrow, and I'm walking forward. This is for my shoulders, and I'm walking back. Not liking any of it. And I'm walking forward. And now I'm gonna lean my hip, my feet stay where they are, but my butt goes back by my wrists, and I'm gonna do somewhere between 5 and 10 dips. 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm gonna walk my feet forward, raise my hips, drop my head back. This nice tabletop stretch. And then slowly, carefully, beautiful ladies, lower the butt to the ground. That was fun. Okay, knees are gonna go off to the right in line with my hips. Again, that top one is, you might even have the knees in line, but that hip may still be rolled up. Roll that left hip away from you. Line up your torso, right arm out to the side. Keep all that lined up and reach out through your left arm. If you could see me, you would see that my left side is nowhere near the ground. Not at all. It could be if I let that left hip slide. But the point is, I don't want that. Also, I meant to say the shins are in line with the knees. So you have a nice 90-degree here. Oh. And breathe. And try to let go where you're holding on. If it were that easy. Sometimes it is. One more breath. Now, squeeze your legs together. Carefully roll onto your back. We're going to take that figure 4 stretch that people always do, but we're not going to use our hands. So arms go out to the side, cross the right ankle over the upper left knee, raise the left foot. Same energy, we want to pull that left knee toward us while pushing the right knee away. So one leg is in external rotation while the other is in flexion. And we want to use our muscles to keep us here. Again, try not to hike the hips in any way, keep them level.
try not to tuck the tailbone. Whew. And at first it's like, whatever, and then it gets edgy pretty fast. I hope. Enjoy it. Enjoy the work here. Building a lot of strength and intelligence into the body right now. If you're not used to this, it might be kind of mentally challenging because we're not used to this shape feeling hard in this way. And hold them for another 5, 4, keep pressing that knee out, 3, 2, and unraveled it. I hope that was exciting for you. Shift your knees over to your left, stack them up, make that 9 to find those angles, roll that right hip on top of the left. For me, that means quite a bit away from my waist. Left arm in line with the shoulder. Spine would probably want to be back. You want to keep it right over the hips. So you might have to adjust and then reach with that right arm. And I'm, again, nowhere near the ground. And this is, it's really, should be called wrestling your own demons pose. Confronting that I am safe and letting it, I suppose it is confronting because there must be several belief systems operating that I am not, or my body would not be this frozen, or it's frozen. Right, so it's a reality check. It's bringing my nervous system, hopefully more, I hope, into reality of this moment. And maybe that will lead into other moments. Squeeze the legs in to each other to get a little bit of tummy work and come back to the center. We'll cross the left ankle over the upper right knee. Same idea. Lou, you can do this with us. And that crossing the left ankle over the upper right knee, try not to swivel your hips in some funky way. Right shin is in line with the knee. And you're pulling in with that right leg and pressing out with the left, no hands. Arms are out into a T. All the work is done in the legs. Please breathe. One of the things I like about this is it's like an old relationship being able to surprise you with something new. I know you had this in you shape. With that action, knee pressing in, other knee pressing out for 5. Good, stay with it. 3, get that chin up 2. And bring it down, good. I think it affected you by you guys choosing to come out a little early, going back in. So I think it's a good sign. Windshield wipe your knees, take your feet wide and let the knees fall in and out. Really sweet, sweet internal, external rotation here. So we didn't confront it too aggressively, but we did throughout the entire class, internal and external rotation of the femur bones, the femur head, the femoral head inside the acetabulum. And that is an area we don't want to anger because it can be very bursitis-y for many. But if we just sort of sneak up on it, lubricating it with some nice, good warm up and work our way in the way we did, we can start to really reduce inflammation in there and get a lot of space. It kind of gets quite cobwebby. Choose whichever side you want to let your knees fall to and extend the arms behind your head, reach. whichever leg is internally rotated, so whichever one, you know what that means, grab the wrist of that arm and gently give it a pull. So you're lengthening that side. Try not to flare the ribs or over tuck the tail. And gently squeeze the glute on both sides or just one on that internally rotated side to stretch the psoas a bit more. Relax that bow, release the tension, let the knees fall to the other side. Same thing. Ay, 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 ay. My oys are the psoas. I'm really appreciating it because I'm deeper in it than I normally am. Like I really, it feels quite good. I mean, pain, sort of, a lot of sensation, I'll say, but good. Useful. And then let the tension go. And slowly make your way toward a Shavasana shape. So legs out in front of you. And prop up whatever you need. If you need eye covers or a blanket, anything, grab what you need. And then lay yourself out on the ground, adjusting the head carefully, prodding the fingers softly into the base of the skull, massaging that really important point for the head and the neck meet up. I mean, really, wow, what? Where your head is screwed onto the body. What? That's a really important area. Let your fingers slide down your neck, and then with the palms of the hands, sweep the sides of your neck several times, moving that lymph. Let your fingers sweep the base of your skull and palms, and then sweep the base of your skull and palms, and you'll maybe feel that lymphatic flow beginning. If it's not already, come under the chin, sweep from the chin back to the ears, lymph there, and more of the palms down the sides of the neck, come under the collarbones and press all the way from the innermost collarbone area and I'm on the bottom out toward the shoulder. Do this a few times, move that lymph. And then sweep from the breasts down to the hip bones. Sweep up the right thigh to the navel and off, up from the left thigh to the navel and off. Do this a couple times. And then sweep from the center of your body off to the left. So, from the center of the body at the bottom of the rib cage, off to the left. Several sweeps. Repeat this a bunch of times. It's trash day, sweeping out that trash. Toxins, virus, any pathogens here don't belong, taking care of them. And then roll your limbs, shake out your hands and let your feet roll in and out, and then rest. Gliding the shoulder blades onto the back carefully. Take a nice, generous breath in. Let it all go. Go right into Shavasana after this exhale. Front body falls back into the back body. Back body catches it. And then the back body, let's go to. If there are thoughts percolating, just keep focused on the body, letting go on the breath. If really needed, add a mantra, something really simple like Sat, Nam, or Om. But whatever the thoughts are, nothing is as sacred or as important right now as releasing. Just let them drift, let them go like balloons. And it's sometimes fun to watch your ego struggle as you release it. It'll fight you. It'll try to entertain you. It'll scare you. And it's fun in the sense that you get to really witness yourself, your ego constructs and what they do, how they act. And eventually, there's stillness. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Take another deep breath. When you're ready, breathe in. Vocalize the exhale. Let sound come through your throat. On your next inhale, yawn and stretch, reaching your arms back, legs out, and notice the elasticity. Notice how nimble you are, how things are moving. And then once again, roll to your right side, cuddle into a little fetal position on your right and stay there, breathing into your back, nourishing the body with the breath, using the medicine that you created in this practice. Call in what you want. Call in joy, or peace, or ease, or play, forgiveness. And then push yourself on up to a seat. Sit well, sit in a way where you're grounded and your spine can be tall and you can celebrate yourself for showing up, each other for showing up, the miracle of your body, the miracle of this life. This is a really mostly sweet week astrologically, but I do want to say Monday is supposed to be a real doozy, one of the bigger doozies of the year. And I mentioned this to a client yesterday who's a guy and not into astrology, but he didn't miss a beat. He's like, well, why is it a bad day? What's wrong? And I was like, well, Mars is squaring with Uranus. And he's like, Mars has been up my ass my whole life. What's the difference? Which I thought was really clever for a for really anybody, but especially a non-astrology person. But anyway, yes, Mars in Uranus. So that is a lot of upheaval, a lot of energy toward upheaval, and may not affect you at all, but it may affect the world quite a bit. It's just something to prepare for, just the unexpected upheaval on Monday. So just putting it out there. It's a week away. Give you time to prepare. So enjoy this sweetness of this week.
try to ground a lot. Try to show up each day for yourself in a grounded way, whatever it takes. Reach the arms up to the sky. Hands come to the heart. And once again, just feel the clarity of that comes from this practice, comes from your presence. Bringing the heart up to the forehead. And let's take an Om from here. Inhale. Om. Thank you for bringing peace into your life and more peace into the world.
Bowing to that peace.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for showing up from all over. Mwah. I'll see you guys soon. Love you.